Howdy. Howdy. Howdy indeed. Happy Monday, everybody. What's up, Joe? What's up, Jody? Welcome to Cooperville Live. So glad that you are here on a Monday, the dreaded Monday. Can't be afraid of those Mondays. Like that intro music, that is all thanks to the insanely talented Blake Allison and Joey Walzer. My friends, bands like Egypt Central, Devour the Day, and the fine purveyors of Ready Waves, royalty-free music for your streaming pleasure. Hello, everybody. It's so good to see your faces. Wait, I can't see. It's so good for you to see my faces. Something like that. Yes, great dudes. Blake and Joey. An integral part of all the things that we do here, including the show, including Cooperville Clothing. Joe's work week is fourth of the way done. Waiting on Thursday. Waiting on 5 to start on a 6er, as I heard today. Well, it's 5, so feel free. As you will. Blake and Joey, big helps with Cooperville Clothing. Jody just got hooked up, got her Lean Into the Weirdness shirt. His son's father-in-law loved your Cooperville shirt yesterday. Well, everyone did, but, drama. Jody got herself a Lean Into the Weirdness t-shirt. Right in here somewhere. Where's that down? That is. Ooh, pretty. I will buy one for him. The others are they're on their own. You tell them. CoopervilleClothing.com. We've got all sorts of stuff and adding more stuff as we speak. Good. Yeah, I dig it. And the hats are great. Shirts are great. All good stuff. Look at all this fun. CoopervilleClothing.com. Order your American Paint gear before the 4th of July. These free the first t-shirts that we did, the tanks. That's 1A. That's 1A. CoopervilleClothing.com. Also, Captain Coop's Beard Company. We have Father's Day coming up on Sunday. Get dad or the bearded person in your life something that they actually want, besides maybe that Lean Into the Weirdness t-shirt, CoopervilleClothing.com. But if they are bearded, beard oils, beard balms, beard butters for all shapes and styles of face hair. And if you don't know what to get them, well, look at that right there. Gift cards available. And they can use those right online on the website, CaptainCoops.com. Also got 20% off going on for Dad's Day. Runs until Friday. Dad's Day 20 is the promo code at checkout for 20% off your order of beard oils, beard balms, and beard butters at CaptainCoops.com. And my friends over at Midwest Meals, MidwestMeals.com. 16 rotating, deliciously healthy, awesome meals for your busy lifestyle. Pop them in the microwave. Save yourself the dishes. I mean, sometimes we get fancy with them. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes we're like, ooh, well, we're going to put this on a plate tonight, you know. But for the most part, like during the week, I have no interest in doing dishes. Zero, zip, zilch, nata. So, easy just to pop my meals in the microwave and get on with things. So, MidwestMeals.com, promo code Cooper at checkout, and get 10% off your first order. Order by Friday, and if you are not in the driving vicinity, they deliver nationwide. So, use that promo code, get hooked up. Try it out. Try it out. Grab yourself a couple meals, and you'll be thankful that you did. I promise. I am thankful that I did. Good friends. Good people. Brilliant young entrepreneur, Mr. Dan Beck, the man behind Midwest Meals. So everybody survived their weekend. That's good. Joe's waiting on payday for some stuff. Joe's got a birthday coming up here this week, isn't it? Yeah, 19th. Joe's got a birthday on the 19th. That's exciting. Good stuff. Almost. I mean, we're basically halfway through June. It's ridiculous. We're We got music festivals starting back up. I, of course, am the master of ceremonies for Country Fest in Cadott, Wisconsin. CountryFest.com for your tickets as it starts next week. Wednesday night, we kick things off. Kentucky Headhunters launching things with the Wednesday bonus show, and then a full Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 days after that. Great lineup. If you're looking for a great outdoor festival event to get to, countryfest.com. And then, of course, in a month is Rockfest. Same grounds, same fantastic people. So it's cool to see, though, because, I work out there during the day. Joe's 29 days after yours. Shit moves faster the older you get. Yeah, that's true. But being out on the grounds a couple days a week, I go out there and help out. And, of course, emceeing country, and I'll be out there as part of the Rockfest podcast for Rockfest. But it's really cool to see, like, everything get geared and ready to rock. It's so cool. Like, I mean, it's a lot of busy work. People kind of like head down, focus, just like in the zone, getting ready for stuff because it's so massive. I mean, grounds that could hold over 30,000 people, and all the stages and all the bars and all the main stage and everything that's got to go on, and backstage and accommodations for the artists, and it's crazy to watch it all unfold. It's my first year like being behind the scenes as it's being built, not being built, but they're facilitating everything. Years past, when I was in radio, I was just go out there the week of and set up and rock and roll. But to kind of see everything, and so many new cool things they've added out there throughout the grounds, and continues to build to get ready for the first one. I think Country Fest is the first big country music festival of the year. So that's coming up next week already. Countryfest.com. Come out and join us. It's your happy place. I'm excited to be there. Wisconsin is typically not as hot as Nebraska, but it can be. I wish I could get to Rockfest. I have too many things on my calendar. Excited about all the shows. Lots of shows. Yeah, you've seen that too. I know, Mama Joe, you got your ear to the ground. You got your eye to the ground. You're seeing all the stuff pop up. Festivals and shows and tours starting this summer. And people are they're ready to get out. And I know, from the country and Rockfest people, they're excited to get everybody out there, and I know the artists are excited. And I think we're going to have Jessley, my friend Jessley in Steve, Virginia. I think they're going to be on the show on Friday. I have to confirm that, but Jessley's going to be at Country Fest. So is Steve, as her manager and boyfriend. So it'll be cool. Excited. So next week, just kind of a heads up, I think we're going to do the show Monday and Tuesday, and then we're going to do some live stuff from Country Fest. So if you don't already full on follow the show, subscribe to notifications and stuff like that on whatever platform it is you're watching. I see we got Mama Joe's over on the Twitch. Joe's on the Tube on YouTube. So it's make sure you subscribe. I know both of you guys do, and everybody else who's watching. Subscribe, notifications, because we'll be doing live stuff, maybe with some artists. That'd be kind of cool to get some one-on-one time with some artists out there on Country Fest. So make sure that you subscribe, as Wednesday, Thursday, Friday show next week will be won't be at the scheduled time because I'm going to be running around doing stuff, but I will try to take some breaks and jump on as many platforms as we can. It might be a little difficult to get on everything, but I know we can get on Twitch and we can get on YouTube, but I'm not sure from out there we can get them on without the whole setup and setting up a laptop and trusting the Wi-Fi and things like that. So we'll see. But I would definitely say Twitch. I think Twitch. Yeah. Jody, Madison is about 3 hours, maybe a little over 3 hours south. Straight south, right down Interstate 94. Straight shot. 8/11. That's 6 days after my birthday. Maybe I have to make that road trip. Got a busy August, too. Busy August. Jed, what's up, brother? Jed, my man, Jed Mackey in the house. Things are well, man. Hope we get Jen next year at Country Fest. That would be badass, dude. For real. A little 3-gun whiskey action up at the fest grounds. I'd be down with that, man. Let's see what we can do. See what we can do. We might get into some trouble, though, Jed. Might get into some trouble. Joe, that would be awesome. I know. I'm thinking. I know. I can. We've had Jesse Allen on the show, Jessie on the show, and a couple of the artists that are going to be there. October Rose, those guys have been on, so maybe we can grab them. It's all it's kind of fly by the seat of your pants. Like go up, intro, come down, go to the campgrounds, go do stuff on here. But hopefully some time backstage we can grab some of the guys and gals that we know and get them on the show. That'd be cool. Let us know if it's going to just be on a certain platform. Joe, I might just do it on Twitch because I know I can get that to work. Easy to do from the app. I can do it on. I mean, I can do it on all of them, but I can't do it on all of them at the same time like we do here, where we're on Facebook and we're on Twitch and we're on YouTube. So I could, but I don't know that I'll have the setup. We'll see. I would say plan on Twitch, and as the week progresses, as we get into next week, maybe we'll do some testing out there when I'm back out Wednesday and then early next week. But I would plan on Twitch for next week, live from Country Fest. Taking the show on the road. We're going to do it. But yeah, a ton of shows. Otherwise, down in Madison. Do you know where they're playing, Mama Joe? All right, Joe's over on the Twitch. Joe's everywhere. Mama Joe, I think are they playing at what is down in Madison? The Sylvie? I think the Sylvie's down there. Or are they doing like Taste of Madison, I think is that in August? I don't know. I could probably find out. There are ways. There's the internet that will tell you all the things. Jed, let's get you back on the program sometime. Get you back on, man. Maybe after we get through Country Fest next weekend and do it. Have to have cities on my calendar. I will be in Madison on the 11th and so on and so forth. That's cool though. Mama Joe traveling to see it, and thanks to Mama Joe. Threw out a big post yesterday, and we shared it on the platforms, supporting the rocking that Lean Into the Weirdness shirt. So thank you, Mama Joe. CoopervilleClothing.com, by the way. Shameless plug for my Lean Into the Weirdness gear and the American Paint stuff. Jed, I got some stuff on there I think you guys will dig too. Check it out, CoopervilleClothing.com. Can we bring it back up? I think we can bring it back up, can't we? We have the technology. Home. Well, bam. There we go. We got a bunch of cool stuff. My obviously my personal favorite has got to be AR Grim. It's the Grim Reaper, but modernized. I got that American Paint flag on there too. So cool stuff. CoopervilleClothing.com. Sorry, shameless plug. No, I don't think we're gonna have Dr. J today. I talked to him earlier. The Apollo, cool. He was in a meeting, and he wasn't sure if he's gonna be able to get out in time. But I told him I'd leave the doorway open if he wants to click a link and jump on. So we'll just kind of shoot the shit till whenever. Gotta hydrate in this weather. Here, Grim, like that. I thought you might. And we got the black, and we got the blackout one. We got the whiteout one. I think we did like a gray as well. But yeah, we're gonna do some other cool stuff with AR Grim. We're gonna try to clean it up a little bit and put him on a hat. Mom's in the house. Hi, Mom. My mom just liked the stream. Thank you, Mom. Appreciate it. But yeah, we have a bunch of new stuff that we're going to be adding to. We're launching our Nope line, which is if you're from Wisconsin or you've heard Wisconsin, there's this OPE thing, which I say all the time, like, oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Or, oh, it's kind of like, I'm sorry, but it's Wisconsin. So since some of the people that are super heavy into the OPE bother me, we're launching the Nope, small N, capital OPE, the Nope line. That's coming. What else we have? We got some two-way stuff, Second Amendment stuff coming up too. And obviously we have all of our American Paint gear out in time for the 4th of July and for your summer. We got those shorts. You got to rock. I ordered my red, white, and blue shorts, so I'm going to try to do a whole 4th of July weekend thing, like, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. The shot shirt, I still got it right here. That's on the list for tomorrow, Joe. On the list for tomorrow, unless you're pouring tequila, I don't care about your shots. Yeah, I want to do it. I think I got a kind of cool graphic idea that I want to work through with it. I could just put it like on a shirt and kind of like this one is, but this is my Grunt Style. Shout out to the guys at Grunt Style doing it right. But I wanted to do like a cool design for it, so I got to put in some time tomorrow on my off day from the festivals, which is my on day for Cooperville Clothing and C4 Productions and Captain Cooper's Beard Company. Lots of stuff. But we'll get that shirt done, Joe. We'll have it done. We'll get it done this week, and we'll have it available for just in time for your birthday. The Joe-inspired, unless you're pouring tequila, I don't care about your shots. I like it. Good stuff. What's going on in the world, man? I feel like the weekend happens, and we had a birthday party, and then we had another graduation party to go to, which kind of took on our Saturday, and this fucking pool fiasco is driving me a little batty. Like, we filled up the pool for the third time after we patched it up, found some holes in it, and patched it up, and then filled it up, and then realized it still had holes in it. And the posts were sinking into the ground because the water was moisturizing the soil, and the posts were sticking into the ground. So we did some revitalization of that, which continued into Sunday, which is still leaking. Flex Seal. I ordered some Flex Seal. I ordered the spray, and we've been using the Gorilla Patch and Seal stuff, which is like supposed to be for pools and for RVs and vinyl stuff like that. And it just keeps on. Water finds a way. I've noticed. It'll just find a new path. It's like, oh, you covered this, I'm just going to go this way. But even though it was about 1.5 feet deep, we still got the floaties out, and we floated around in the pool yesterday for a couple hours, and whatever. Yeah. So that was our exciting weekend. I hope you all had a great weekend. We had nice weather here in the area. Joe, I know it was a little bit cooler, so I know you were probably excited about that. Mama Joe's pool also has a small leak. Trying to get it fixed. Yeah. Yeah. It's Swimrite. Swimrite is that place off of 93. Wet Patch Kit. I'll have to stop. Well, there's two. I think there's Swimrite Pools and Spas is out there, and then there's Pool Man is a little bit further down. So it's one of those two. Tried that Super Patch. Nope. Yep. The underwater stuff. So yeah, well, supposedly this, and we couldn't find it anywhere in stores, so we had to order it from Amazon. But it's Gorilla, like waterproof underwater seal, and it didn't quite do the trick. Like, you can get it underwater and it adheres, but as soon as you move it, like, it just goes flip flop. So that's a good idea. I got to head down to the big EC tomorrow, so maybe I'll swing out to Swimrite and then maybe over to Pool Man. Super Patch, nope. That's the big thing, because we got like the 15 foot, and it's like 4 foot deep. It's the above ground thing, and with the filter and all this stuff. I am so tired of draining it because it takes so long to fill. Like, oh, I just want this to be done. But now I'm determined. You know, like when you get to that point where you've done it and you're on the verge of giving up, and then you're just like, okay, no, I don't care. I don't care how this works. We're going to figure it out. If I have to Flex Seal the whole thing, we're going to be in that pool, and soon. Already missed out on the weekends when it was 100 degrees out, which would have been great, but what are you going to do? Have our hose, and daughter lives next door, so we use hers too. Yeah, I know. We had thought about that, like asking the neighbors, like, "Hey, you mind if we run like your hose?" And then, like, I would feel obligated to like have them over. Like, oh, remember, it helps you fill your pool, but they do. They have like the same, almost the same pool, so they're fine. But no, I like my neighbors. I just gave them. They're trying to make room in the garage, and I still have like 30 cases of Monster in there. Thank you to Monster Energy, by the way, proud sponsors of the show. And ever since I got it, every time I like see, I'm like, oh, I drop you guys some stuff off, and so I brought him some OG and what was the other one? The new green one. Brought him over a couple of cases, so maybe that'll be the payoff. Hey, I need to use your hose. Remember I brought you those 2 cases of Monster? Yeah. Maybe that's what ours is. 18. It feels 18. Doesn't feel like it's 15. But 48 inches. Yep. That's the 4-footer. Big old round blue thing. Posts and filters and chlorine. But you do salt, Mama Joe? I like salt. I like salt water. That's why I love the ocean, man. That's why Florida keeps on calling me back. Come back to me. Like I want to. But, oh, what is going on in the world? Did you hear about the guy that got swallowed by a humpback whale? Like legit? Isn't there a Bible story? Is it Jonah and the whale? Was that it? I don't know. It's been a minute. Pricey to start, but worth not having too much of the chemicals. Yeah, that's the one thing I worry about is chlorine, and supposedly there's a chlorine shortage, so it's super expensive. President Trump's birthday and Flag Day today. It is. Happy Flag Day, everybody. Go get yourself an American Paint pair of shorty shorts there. CoopervilleClothing.com. It's like they pay me. I mean, they don't. Not directly. It's weird. But anyway, Providence, Massachusetts, this story comes from USA Today. In an exceedingly rare incident, a commercial lobster diver was seriously injured on Friday morning when he was caught in the mouth of a humpback whale feeding near a beach. Bummer. Michael Packard, 56, is at Cape Cod Hospital with at least one broken leg. He was swallowed by the whale in the whale's mouth for about 20 seconds. Packard spoke with crewman Josiah Mayo, who relayed some of the details to her. Packard said the whale burst to the surface, and Mayo thought it may have been a great white shark. There was all the action on top of the water. Then the whale released her brother. Dude, in the mouth of a humpback whale. That's new, right? You don't hear those stories very often. You heard the story from the Bible, right? Jonah and the whale. Jonah versus the whale. I don't know. I think there was a Disney movie here too, wasn't it? A Disney movie at some point? The guy getting swallowed by the whale. It seems like a horrible way to go. He was very lucky. Doing the flag Speedos today. It is Flag Day, you know? Joe, you say you're just kidding, but are you? That's the question. That is the question. Was very lucky. Just when you think you had a bad day, you hear about a guy that's almost became a whale turd. Yeah? Like things are looking up. Like if you had a case of the Mondays today, having a case of the Mondays, like, man, didn't get swallowed by a humpback whale. So I feel good about life. Feel good about my existence. Good stuff. I see Dr. J is in the house. Dr. J, my weekly friend, is doing well. How you doing, sir? Happy Flag Day.
Yeah, man. Happy Flag Day to you. Sorry for being a little late today. It's been one of those days, but I'm here.
Yeah, you were, I applaud a busy man, and you are a busy man. And when, meetings take precedent, I was like, I'll just hang out and talk shit for, whenever you get here. And if you didn't show up, I was just going to talk shit all night. So here we are. I get to stop doing that now.
Well, the thing is, you've been doing it long enough, so it comes easy.
Half the time I'm just like, a man got ate by a whale. Oh, here seems like something we should spread the word about, It's it's a lighter side of diligent research, which is, but I have you for the diligent research. But how was your weekend? Things going well over there?
Amazing. What a weekend, right? The best weather. This is why we live in Wisconsin, this kind of weather.
Yep, because you get it, and then you realize you appreciate the moments that you have it, because in 4 months, it's going to take a turn. And you're going to go, hey, remember when it was nice back in June? That was beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, I always like how people, yeah, but just wait. It's coming. Like, man, just be in the moment. Enjoy the moment. Worry about later.
No, I'm loving it, soaking it up. It's been great, too. We had like one dip in the weather since we got back from our trip, and it was that day that it snowed, so you kind of get like the extremes. But then like since then, it's been Florida weather, but as you know, when you're by the ocean, you got that ocean breeze. It's a little thinner. The air gets a little thick up here, but no, we've been definitely taking advantage of it. The roof's off the Jeep. We went for a cruise yesterday, got a bunch of grad parties and stuff to go to, so soaking it up while we have it. Again, living in the moment, being present, as Dr. J says, is one of the most important things you can be.
Absolutely. No question.
So I want to talk to you about relationships today. I was reading a book, and it was stressing the importance of relationships and how relationships, not just with your spouse or your significant other, but also your network and your family and your friends, like how all this stuff kind of intertwines itself into all other aspects of whether it's your business or whether it is your fitness, all the relationships that you build and the importance of them. So it's a topic that I kind of wanted to approach with you. I know in your coaching and stuff, I'm sure it's something that you regularly bring up with the people that you're working with. Like, tell me about relationships and their importance, and we can start with your relationship with your significant other and working through things and communication. Just want to get your kind of 2 cents on relationships to start a Monday.
If I recall, I think it was Jim Rohn who said your net worth is equal to your network. And no words have ever been spoken truer. And the phrase I always say to my clients, and I speak often, is that all success in life is based on relationships. Your relationships, again, with significant others, family members, clients, business relationships, etc. The better you are at building and creating impactful relationships, the quicker you're just going to become successful. That's just a pure fact. It's an inarguable fact. And that means showing up authentic, being interested in other people. Another thing, like I used to teach my young docs, is be interested, not interesting. That means being better at listening and talking and asking great questions about the people who you're in front of, because people like talking about themselves. And so if you're very interested in them, eventually they become interested in you. But you have to gain that affinity and rapport first by being interested in them. So relationships is everything, and you're talking my language, because I always tell people, if you want to experience more success in any area of your life, be better at building great relationships.
And I couldn't agree more with that, because I do think, as you and we've talked about in the past, kind of you are the sum of the 5 people that are closest to you. You're kind of like, depending on where you are, if you're in the middle of that pack or if you're at the top and you're kind of looking down, it kind of all depends. But as you expand and you grow, and whether that's personal development, whether that's you kind of are looking to achieve something greater in whatever field that is, if it's in business, if it's in philanthropy or whatever, as you expand and grow, naturally the course of life will take you into new relationships. You'll meet new people and you'll interact with new people, and for some that can be the most difficult and challenging thing. And there's a lot of references, and I'm sure you've heard this one before, about crabs in a bucket, about when one crab tries to escape the bucket, the other crabs will try to pull that crab back down into it. And there's also, I think, an innate fear that people have when you talk about meeting new people and expanding your group, and especially as you aspire to do bigger things, whether that's in business or whatever field that it is in. You go from being maybe on the top of the group that you're with, as far as like your drive and your motivation, and then when you level up a little bit, you are all of a sudden at the bottom of that totem pole of people. So people can struggle with, really watering those relationships and helping them grow. What are some of the keys and secrets to developing those relationships and keeping them, growing and evolving and becoming closer as you continue to progress up?
Well, the first thing I would say is humility. Back in the day, many years ago, I experienced a lot of insecurity. So I used to act in a manner in which, I was the guy and, that kind of thing. That was merely out of fear and ego. And as I grew and matured and started to understand this concept of building great relationships, I realized that what people are attracted to is humility, not braggadociousness, right? It's not to say that bragging once in a while is a bad thing, but someone who's always, no one likes that person, that guy. And so humility and also vulnerability. In other words, being able to share the weaknesses that we have, because we all have them. We all have insecurities. We all have fears. We all have weaknesses. And when you are open to sharing those, the depths in which the relationship can grow is almost immeasurable, because now they feel like the relationship is a safe place for them to also share their vulnerabilities. And that's when the relationship really grows and becomes very, very deep. I remember my wife and I, at the time we were dating, and a life situation occurred. And I'll never forget that one night, man, everything from past just flew out of me. And it was like hours. I mean, she was there for me just to listen and understand. And our relationship really grew from that moment. I mean, she began to really understand who I was and where I came from and all the pains and stuff that we all deal with. So humility and vulnerability. And then as you're talking about leveling up, is being curious, right? And being a great communicator. Coop listens twice as often than they speak. It's been said God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth to listen twice as often as you speak. And I believe that's really, really true, which is funny because you and I are just yapping away here, right?
Well, but we're also listening. There's a give and take, a back and forth, and definitely a listening aspect of it.
Sure. So being a great listener is also paramount. So humility, vulnerability, a great listener, and curiosity. As you begin to level up, another one of my favorite sayings is this: if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find a new room. If you truly are ambitious and you want to grow, because if we remain in an echo chamber, all we hear is the sound of our own voice and the people that agree with us all the time. Great leaders surround themselves with people who don't always agree. And, that's a recipe for disaster, particularly in an organization if everyone's yes people.
Yeah. I like the vulnerability thing sticks out. I mean, amongst all those great points, because there's seemingly also this fear of being vulnerable, because there's a preconceived notion, I think, that vulnerability equals weakness. And where I think you and I would agree is that vulnerability actually equals strength, because you're able to let that guard down, that front that a lot of people like to put up, especially in meeting new people. You want people to like you. I mean, that's kind of the name of the game, is you want somebody to be like, that's a guy I could go have a beer with, or that's a girl that I could see myself, having this conversation with and growing a relationship with. You always want to be the person that's like cool, calm, and collected and confident. But vulnerability is this, I want to say it's a secret weapon, because obviously it's out there, but the ability to allow yourself to be vulnerable in any relationship is, I think, all the things you said, and a huge signal of strength, because it takes more strength to be authentic in who you are and to unveil feelings and thoughts, and like you talked about, purging all of those emotions to somebody. That takes an enormous amount of strength to do, more so than look at all the things I've accomplished, or I wear really cool hats, all the things that you like to front when you meet people from an external appearance. But when you find, the ability to be in a group or be in a relationship where you can be super vulnerable and just be like, here's legit, like how I feel. Here are the laundry list of things that I don't know, which is another tough thing for people to admit, things that they don't know. But if you can get past that, I mean, you find yourself in this incredibly powerful state of mind and state of being. And I think, as you would attest to, that strengthens those relationships 10 times more than the braggadocious and the, hey, I'm super cool, I'm the alpha, or I'm the guy that you want to hang around and be around, and you want to hear my stories, and everybody wants to listen to me. And so the vulnerability thing, I think, is a hugely misunderstood emotion and feeling, and what it does for those relationships is I don't think you can find something that's more important than having that ability to be vulnerable and to say, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of life's great paradoxes. Is courage and strength come from being vulnerable. You would think it'd be the opposite, but it's just not. And true intimacy is true intimacy occurs first emotionally before it does physically. And I'm talking intimacy, not,
I got you.
lust or something like that. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
picking up what you're laying
when
down.
yeah, man, I figure you are. You're pretty sharp. So yeah, I mean, when you have that emotional connection, the level of intimacy just goes to new levels, new heights, however you want to say it. And so, when it comes to creating great relationships, um, allowing someone to be heard and to express their feelings and emotion, like you had mentioned, in a non-threatening way, and listening to hear rather than listening to us to respond, is a way to really build lasting and meaningful relationships. And people just need to be acknowledged for how they feel. It doesn't need to be judged, doesn't need to be fixed, which what we guys tend to want to do. Well, how can I fix it, babe? How can I make it better for you? Right? It's like, I don't really want it better. I just want to vent. Okay. You know what I mean? So, and then sometimes when you are listening and you don't offer a solution to fix it, they're like, well, aren't you going to help me? They're like, well, is today the day I listen, or is today the day I offer or some solution? So then you have to take it to another level. But it's just every day we should be doing something to build our relationships, right? But also a relationship with ourselves, because it's impossible to give away what you don't own. Let me clarify that. You can't truly love others unless you love yourself. So we need to build a relationship with ourselves around self-love, where we speak to ourselves in empowering terms. We treat ourselves with kindness and love and respect. We're not engaged in behaviors that are damaging and undermining. So don't forget the relationship with self.
Yeah, I think that is another hugely important fact, and another one that does have a tendency to be misconstrued as, this self-love is some sort of egotistical, like, oh, you certainly, love yourself or think highly of yourself. Well, shouldn't we all think highly of ourselves? Shouldn't we all? And I mean, I understand that there is, we'll flash back to braggadocious. There is a certain part where you externalize how much you really love yourself, and you maybe gauge that by how much you've accomplished or the things that you've done or things that you've experienced. And I think when you do that in a way that is intended to make other people feel less, that's not what we're talking about when it comes to self-love and to understanding yourself and being open and honest with yourself, because that's another facet of relationships, is that honesty thing. And if you can't be honest with yourself, you're gonna have a really hard time being honest with other people. I do have a question about taking inventory on the relationships that you have in life, taking a step back and really looking at the people that you surround yourself with and analyzing I don't want to say toxicity, because I think toxic relationship gets thrown out all the time. Well, this is a toxic relationship, I want to get myself out of it. But you look at relationships, and for some people it's really tough, because sometimes those relationships are family, sometimes they're longtime friends and business acquaintances, people you've worked with or worked for. And you look at each individual relationship and you really assess, like, what you're putting into the relationship and what you're getting out of the relationship. How is the treatment? Is it equal? Does it always feel like, well, this person always is, pulling me in this direction, and it's not necessarily the direction I like to go? How often do you think it's important to really analyze the relationships that you have in your life? Because again, we talked about the crabs in the bucket. It can be a situation you're not even aware of, that you're maybe trying to reach up and out of the bucket, and unbeknownst to you, there's somebody holding your leg down, unless you take that analyzation moment. How often do you think you should be doing that with your life as you try to progress?
I suggest a minimum of once a year. I like to do it fourth quarter as the year's drawing close, and I could go back and reflect on the things that I've accomplished and how, what goals and why I achieved, maybe why I didn't achieve, what do I need to do differently. But it's so at the same time as I'm assessing core values and my purpose and all that other stuff is, I look at my relationships and ask myself, does this relationship empower me, support me, love me unconditionally? Or is this a relationship that is stale, that is, it's that crab in the bucket, as you mentioned, you know what I mean? That is, maybe not really supportive enough, maybe doesn't really, encourage me. And so I think it's a very healthy thing to do. It's the hardest to do with family.
Yeah.
But there's safeguards and still barriers that you can erect to insulate yourself from some familiar relationships that maybe are not healthy, and boundaries that you can set. I'm not shy to share that I had to do that with my own mother 10 or 15 years ago. A negative environment that she grew up in, she passed on. And as I started to learn and grow and move away from that, I'd say, Mom, I love you, but when the conversation goes this way, I have to remove myself from my own well-being, because otherwise then I'm going to go in a place I don't want to go. And then it's going to affect my family, and that's not fair to them. And then it was interesting over time, those conversations stopped happening, and she knew what those boundaries were. And then she started to shift as well too. So you can move those relationships in a different place if you clarify those boundaries and don't make them wrong, rather than it's about how you feel, and you just don't want to feel that way. So at least annually, or more importantly, Coop, if you're really feeling stuck in life, right? You're just spinning your wheels, you're frustrated, you're just not happy where things are going. That's one of the first things I would look at. What relationships are just not serving me? And sometimes you got to fire your friends.
And that's tough. And that's tougher, when you look at, friendships and how, and I don't want to say that there's an age, because I don't think, and we've talked about, there's not a perfect age to start in business. There's not a perfect age to, launch yourself into this, or to start self-improvement, or meditate, or change your daily routine. There's never, you're never too old, you're never too young. But I think when you have, you get into your 40s and you feel like you've got these friends that maybe you've had from your 20s, maybe you got some college buddies, or you got maybe somebody from the last 10 years, and you grow together. And whether that's the dynamic, whether that's a place you live, you're like, oh, well, this person's my neighbor, or this person, we've had beers together, and we do the 4th of July, and they have fireworks. But we talked about putting up boundaries and strategically putting them up. And maybe the most difficult part is sticking to those boundaries. And as you have noticed, you told the story about your mother, eventually those stories went away. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you just kind of have to keep moving and progressing. And the tough part for some people is that those relationships they kind of just tend to fade off into, I won't say oblivion, but they're just not there. Maybe it's a high when you see them in the grocery store, but it's just, you have to keep moving. Because if you end up turning back around, there was a great analogy I was listening to in a podcast this morning about when you're on a path to somewhere, you have a goal, you have a destination in mind that you want to be. And you're in your car and you're driving that way. Now, if you pass somebody and you're still trying to hit this destination, if you make a U-turn, if you pull off on an exit ramp, if you stop on the side of the road to wait for this person, or again, the U-turn, go back to them, you are distancing yourself and elongating the time before you get to where your destination is. Sometimes it's best to just, redline it and keep going. And if that person ends up coming back and all of a sudden they're right alongside you on the same highway, and you go, hey, it's good to see you. And you just, I think relationships can come back into a different place, but you need to keep, again, we talked about self-love. You need to keep on your path, your trajectory. If people want to catch up with you and they're like, I want to do what he's doing. I love the attitude that he has and the happiness that he's found. He's going places, and I want to follow that person. They can come back up and catch up. But you start making U-turns or start getting off on exit ramps to pause for a little bit, it takes longer. Anybody who's been on a long car ride, if you have to stop and the kid's in the back, I got to use the bathroom. You're like, oh, we're never going to get there. You can't stop. You have to keep going. And that can be challenging because you see a friend, longtime friend, you're like, hey, we had those good times. You gotta stick to your guns and keep moving forward, and relationships will do what they do.
Yeah, I mean, there's relationships for seasons, reasons, and a lifetime. People are going to move in and out of your life. Very, very, very few. I mean, you're lucky if you can count on one whole hand the relationships that last an entire lifetime. You're really, really blessed to have those. And, people by nature are very kind, and they're very caring and considerate. So the thought of, leaving someone behind per se, like, how can I stop being friends? I know this person for 30 years. Well, you don't necessarily have to stop being friends, but maybe instead of hanging out 4 times a week, maybe it's twice a month.
Right.
And part of our roles as leaders is to lead others and to show a new path and a new way. Some will follow, right, and ride along with you. Some will catch up to you. And some will go in a completely different direction, and that's okay. It doesn't make them bad or you good or vice versa. But to allow a relationship to impede your self-actualization as a human being to save someone else's feelings is not living your true self. And that's a hard thing for people to wrap their heads around. One of the moments in life where I really learned about freedom was when I really stopped giving an F what people thought. I mean, honestly, and part of it is, and I don't mean that to sound brass, but I kind of do, in a sense that it's none of my business what you think about me, because I can't change it anyway.
Right.
If your perception of me is negative, I wish I could change it, but I'm not going to be me to conform to you.
Right.
And that's what I would suggest to everyone listening. Never change with who you are, assuming you're living your authentic self, to conform to someone else. Because then you move away from self-actualization, and that's where happiness and joy and peace and true joy of life. That's where that happens.
I think there's it's magnified tenfold and maybe 100-fold in the day and age that we live in with technology, because it's not just your group of friends or the people that you hang out with that can make you feel those things, that can make you try to be somebody you're not. You have people, you put up a picture on social media and you will get judged, and people will tell you this and they will tell you that, and it doesn't even matter what it is. You can put up a picture of you, if you lost 100 pounds, you feel great, and you want to post it up. You're like, I'm posting that. Like, I don't want to hear about your accomplishments. You're making me feel bad. Like, you get it not just from the people that are in your circle. Sometimes you'll get it now from social media too. And I think that's why people get fearful of wanting to make change, because they're worried about what other people are going to think, they're going to say, they're going to judge, they're going to make fun of you, they're going to hurt your feelings. I think that letting go of, really caring about other people's thoughts about you. Now, if you're being an asshole and someone calls you an asshole, like, you need to have a self-realization moment, be like, yeah, sorry about that, my bad. But if you're just doing you and somebody makes a comment or somebody sends you a text or whatever, and that somehow alters the things that you want to accomplish or the things that you're doing and things that you feel good about. If you took the time to post something on social media for whatever it is, for your benefit, for somebody else's benefit, to highlight something, to show excitement, you can't not be that person if that's who you are, because you're worried about the comments, you're worried about what other people think. Letting that go is huge. Now, I want to get you out of here with this one. We talked about having that moment. You talked about in the fourth quarter, you kind of analyze the relationships that you're in, and you go, this one maybe isn't serving me the best. How important is it to also have an internal look at you as a person and how your role is in relationships, and maybe have that self-realization of, maybe I do need to make some changes. Maybe I do need to understand the power of vulnerability and listening. Like, is that something that should be done more often than once a year? How often should you look inside and be like, maybe I am the person that's pulling people back down into the bucket as a crab, or I'm the person that's out judging or putting my 2 cents in on somebody's post or telling them, I don't know if I'd wear that, outfit out in public. Or so how often should you look at yourself and be like, wow, maybe it's some of this is me. Some of these are things that I have to change and become better at.
A true leader does it every day, every single day. How am I showing up? How am I influencing the environment around me? How am I influencing the people around me? You know what I mean? Am I being, in this particular relationship, am I giving as much as I'm receiving, or vice versa? Especially with the closest relationships around us, we take advantage of those more frequently. We tend to treat the closest relationships, those people, the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really sad, but it's true. I've caught myself doing it. It's like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And so every single day you have to take inventory. How are you showing up? And, how am I contributing to this experience, this event, this moment in time?
No, super important stuff. And I think, a lot of it all ties into kind of what we opened our chat today with, is that really being present and understanding what being present is, especially in a moment of engagement with a relationship, especially the close ones that you talked about. Like, am I really being present right now as this person is talking, or as this person, as we're interacting? Am I in this moment? Am I somewhere else? Am I not giving it the attention it needs? I think it really puts a nice bow on this conversation about relationships when we talk about being present and the importance of it. But Dr. J, always good stuff. Triple P Nation's leader, and the Power, Passion, Prosperity podcast is available everywhere quality podcasts are heard.
Thanks, Coop. Appreciate it as always.
Anytime, Dr. J. We'll talk to you in a week, my friend.
Be well.
Awesome. Dr. J, always on the show. Remember, as I always say, I listen to Dr. Dre and I listen to Dr. J. And that is another shirt that we have to work on this week. Just stuff and things and work, and I love it, though. I love it. That's finding that passion, finding that energy. Things like, can't wait to go and do that. Can't wait to design Joe's shirt and Dr. J's shirt and hopefully not get sued by Dr. Dre. Relationships, super important stuff in all aspects, in any walk of life, in any area that you're trying to improve, whether it's you're trying to be a better parent or you're trying to be better with your partner. Super important. And I love what he said about, as a leader, trying to be a leader, like really taking inventory every day of how are you showing up? How will I show up today? As you get up tomorrow morning, like, how am I going to show up today? How am I going to show up for my kids? How am I going to show up for my significant other, my spouse? How am I going to really be super hyper present today? Great stuff with Dr. J. Power, Passion, Prosperity podcast. Again, go and listen. Always got great messages, great guests, great insight, and super appreciative that every Monday we get a chance to pick the brain of Dr. J. So good stuff. Good stuff today. Go and do a self-analysis of how you're showing up in your relationships, because it's all about getting better. It's all about getting better, no matter your walk of life. I'm going to get to some of the comments over here. I know we got a lot of stuff going on. Fade, what's up? Good to see Fade's in the house. Brother. I know. With that hat on today. Mama Joe, yeah, not everybody wants you to grow. Got to watch out for those types. Exactly. That's that crabs in the bucket stuff. That's crabs in the bucket. No, we want stay down here. It's fun down here. It's comfortable down here. Let's hang out. Like legit, crabs do that. And crab's like, I don't want to be in this bucket. I want to get the fuck out, get back in the ocean. Go explore. His buddies are like, no, we're having a kegger. Good stuff. Great message today. That's right, Joe. Great message. Dr. J's always got good stuff. And don't let yourself be used by others. 100%, Mama Joe, 100%. And I think being aware of that too. Being aware, and that's that analysis that he talked about, that he does, that fourth quarter of the year, you start getting into, October, November, December, those last 3 months, it's the holiday season, kind of the reset of the year. Like, wait a minute. Like, I feel like this person really is pulling me and not reciprocating. Got to be vigilant and observant. And that's a tough part too, is being aware enough to go, that's the first step. The second step is, okay, how do I either tell this person, have that conversation and say like, hey, look, I don't think that we're like playing on the same field here. I feel like you're kind of utilizing me for my whatever. Those are tough conversations to have. That's vulnerability. Because you understand that people will have a defense mechanism, and I am 100% guilty of it. It's like one of the main things when I talk about me working on self-improvement, it is that automatic defense mechanism that comes up when confronted with those kind of conversations. Like, hey, you were kind of an asshole. I'm like, no, I wasn't. You're like, yeah, shit, yeah, maybe I was. Like, that's my bad. I want to get better. But when you're having that conversation with somebody else, like, hey, like, I don't think this is level. Like, this isn't equal. We're not on the same playing grounds. That person, you almost have to expect, is going to go, how dare you? Remember that one time I helped you move? Like, yeah, I guess. It was 20 years ago, but cool. Awareness, being present, being aware, understanding the value of relationships. And as you grow and you get into different relationships, being okay, letting some go. Some snakes are good. If you think they are, go with it. Mama's in the house. Hi, Mom. Don't compare your life to others. You do you. Exactly. That's the whole thing. That's the American way. Do you. Do. Be aware. Relationships. Super important stuff. Very, very important. Oh, snakes are good at hiding. I got you. They are. They hide in the grass. It's awareness. Be aware of snakes in the grass or on a plane. Sorry. We haven't had a good Sam Jackson reference in a long time on the show, so I figured I'd bring it back around. But understanding your relationships, understanding the value, understanding growth in relationships, understanding watering a relationship, there's you got to, you want the flowers to grow? Water them. Pay attention. Be present. Grow. Be accepting and open to new relationships. I've heard people that they get to like a certain point in their life, like, I don't need any more friends. Like, I'm good. I got my circle. We're going to hang out. Crabs in a bucket. And if you're cool with that, that's cool. That's cool. This isn't everybody needs to be the crab trying to get out of the bucket and trying to be better. Like, if you're cool in your group and you're like fucking solid, shit. You're happy. You're content. Awesome. You should want that for everybody. Everybody be happy. Crab wants to get out of the bucket. Best of luck. I'm driving to my destination. Yes. Thank you, Mama Joe. Thanks for sharing the show. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody for sharing the show. Good stuff today. And you can always share the show even after it airs. You know, once it's it's done on Facebook and it's done on YouTube and it's done on Twitch. Of course, you can share it. You know, we encourage that. Not just because we want the show to grow. We want to talk to more people. We want to affect more people. But maybe there's people that need to hear those messages. Especially, Dr. J dropping truth bombs like, you're like, hey, we all could use a little bit of this. kind of went through a year of weird shit. Maybe a year of realization of like, wait a minute, why the fuck are you in my life? Huh. It's okay to let it go. So, sharing is caring. Thanks, Fade. It's the hat. No, it's the shirt. It's the. That's like Captain Coops. That's like Captain Coops, son. And that Fade game. Trim. Y'all have yourselves a fantastic Monday. Yes, please share the show. Share it with people that you think need to hear it. Share it with people who are, looking for a little pick-me-up today. I think we touched on some good stuff. And we'll be back tomorrow. Who do we have tomorrow? Mike Protish, my homeboy, is back tomorrow, formerly of Red Sun Rising, currently of The Violent. They got a whole bunch of new stuff coming up on the horizon. They just shot a music video. They're doing a whole bunch of cool stuff. Mike Protish is on the show tomorrow. I know I have somebody else. I just had to make sure that I'm on point here. I should have my calendar up on them, but I don't. And also Kyle Bolin. Kyle Bolin is the manager of the largest dispensary in the state of Illinois and is a hustler. Grinding, hustling, part of the Lion's Den. Good stuff. Connected with him on there. We're going to have him on the show. We're going to talk about grind. Talk about the grind. And we'll talk to Mike about the music. And we'll talk to, let's talk. But have yourselves a great night. Hit the links. Love y'all. Cultivate every day. How am I going to show up today? And then show up. Appreciate you. Appreciate all of you for watching, sharing, doing the things. Joe, peace. Fade with that roar. That's that lion. Yeah. Good stuff today. Good stuff. Hit the end. Peace. Devil horns. All the stuff. Have a great night. Tomorrow, wake up in the morning. Ask yourself that question. How am I going to show up today? And show up.